Our next movement is a hand undulation. Hand circles are very different from hand undulation, and they're really simple to do. Once you start practicing a hand undulation, you'll know. A circle, as we've learned before, is a full circle around the wrist with full flexion in the hand. The fingers are long. In this case, you want to work not a circle, but a wave-like motion in the hand. It's best seen from a profile position of your hands, so you would never point the hand at the audience, but rather in any of the correct arm positions, so that the profile of your hand, whether here in first or here in fifth position, is seen very clearly to the audience. And then you will see a very simple little wave created in the hand itself. And this can be done moving around or stationary, but always where the arms are presented in a pretty place. Now, you don't want to do it quickly because it will look silly if you do it too fast. You want to make sure that your efforts are very clearly seen. It looks simple. It's not all that simple. Let's take an exercise to find it to begin with. I want you to take your hands and press them together. And now pull open the knuckles so your hands make a ball shape. From the ball shape, you'll feel your wrists touching without pressure. You'll feel your fingertips touching as well. Now, from the ridge of the knuckles, you want to press inward. This can be a little bit strenuous at first. There's a little stretch going on through the palm of your hand. I'm not pressing very hard together. In other words, there's not a lot of tension going on here. It's really relaxed. I'm going to release. So this is our first little exercise. Press in and release back to the ball position. Press in and release. What I'm getting you to practice doing is finding the motion that comes from the ridge of the knuckles, not from the fingers pulling back, not from the wrist pressing in at all. So that after you get comfortable doing it like this, where the hands are touching, you want to separate the hands and continue that practice to push from the knuckles through the center. As I said, it is not from the fingers pulling back, it's from the ridge of the knuckles pushing forward. Why this? Looks funny, especially when we just do it like this, but if you take a look at it, that's how you're going to get that S curve in the hand. So, practice this first. Once you think you've got it, that's when we're going to put the three positions together. 3 being, you're going to take your wrist and press it down, then take the ridge of the knuckles and add that, and then you're going to press through the fingertips until the hand rather hyperextends itself. Then the whole thing will lift up and curve into what was half of that ball shape. You can't even imagine my hand is hovering over a shelf. I'm going to press my wrist onto a shelf, press the knuckles onto the shelf, and then lay the fingers onto the shelf, pick the whole arm up, and round it out. The next step of practice, rolling through 4 positions. Wrist, knuckles, fingers, release. Wrist, knuckles, fingers, release. So you'll take your hands in first position and practice wrist, knuckles, fingers, framing the hips. Or you can take it up in 5th position and see it from the pinky side of the hand. Wrist, knuckles, fingers, wrist, knuckles, fingers, keeping the 5th position very pretty and clean. You can move it slowly, leading from the wrist side downward, or you can even cross and bring it here, again leading from the wrist. Slowly start the wave in the hand, the undulation, and pull it open to a pretty 2nd position. Or you can even add a little interest by tilting it to the side and lifting up into 4th position, making sure you're always having a clean arm position and bringing the fingers together, keeping the thumb always inconspicuous.